Thank you. And now is the turn for the jury for questions.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I suppose the first question is why is it 5 times cheaper?
Yeah. Okay, so we will use recycled materials. The first layer, this one, will be high-density polyethanol, which is basically recycled plastic. Currently, the market price for that is €1.35 for 1 kilogram, and we use approximately 4 kilogram. We have a local supplier in Brussels who will take care of that process. The second layer is the construction material, is insulation material, which is currently a waste product from construction and demolition, where the contractors actually pay for it to get rid of it. So we will probably get it for free. We need to take care of cleaning. That's and then the third layer is the moss itself that will be grown. And we will grow it ourselves because the market price of purchasing moss is very high. The conventional products that are currently on the market, they use, why they're so expensive is because they don't use moss, but plants that are expensive to maintain and water.
One of the issues regarding quality in the city is not just about nitrogen, but it's about particles, microparticles. So first question, how and if it removes particles, and what is the absorption capacity? How much buildings you need to cover with moss to make a significant impact?
Yeah, you're completely right on that point. Moss has actually the capacity to absorb PM 2.5, PM 7.5 and PM 10. And you need about 30 to 50% of one street completely, for 30 to 50% covered in moss to have a significant effect.
So I'm curious, I guess this is technology you've developed yourselves. So am I right?
Yes, the technology is developed ourselves with extensive research with other companies.
Right, so do you have patents pending or have you done patent searches? Is it protectable?
It can definitely be protectable, but our main uniqueness is that we have the relationships with the local governments, as well as we have done the research on the moss, and we can have the right balance between different types of moss to be able to put it everywhere.
Okay, but my suggestion is go get your patents anyway. If you want to raise money, it's always much easier. And secondly, those kind of relationships are fairly limited, and VCs want to see scalability, and patents are scalable.
We're working on a patent.
Good for you. Thanks.
So I understand they don't require maintenance as much as plants because they just need a bit moisture that it's retained. So it relies on rain, or does it need watering? And does this mean it only works in certain climates where it rains regularly?
Yes, as a biologist I can answer that. There are certain types of species depending on the latitude where we are growing it. We are focusing on Brussels first because of rainfall. So the meteorological survey says that in Brussels it rains every 3 to 6 days. So of course our first point would be to focus on cities where there's more rainfall.
And have you done anything to look at whether people would like to have moss on their buildings?
Yes, we have done different kind of market research. We have asked people in the streets, so direct interviews, and we figured out, would you like to have a green wall on the street? Firstly, they don't have a real perception of the effect that it could have, but then when we explained, they said that would like to have. And we have also done a research market for municipality, directly contacting them. And they one on two would like to implement our project, and has also the budget to implement environmental quality and air pollution reduction projects. So we have seen that there is a huge market potential for the product.
So the first thing is moss doesn't generally like direct sunlight. So you said there are many varieties. How can you solve that so that you can cover an entire building? And the second thing is I notice you have lots of different colors on there, I guess because of the different varieties. Have you thought about planting them in such a way that you can do subtle advertising with the moss. It's still green, but you could definitely see there's extra revenue to be got there.
Yes, there are currently a couple of advertising companies who are doing that, so-called moss graffiti. It depends on the angle where the sun is shining, so we will target those facades first, where there is less sunlight to be able to survive. And this is all part of the research and development phase.
Thank you, the jury. And now questions from the audience. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, I see lots of hands in this area. And the question is over there.
Hi. In light of the Grenfell Tower fire, which killed dozens of people in London, because of the cladding they had was extremely flammable and was decorative and should never have been installed, I'm just curious, in terms of the moss that you will be putting up on walls, how flammable is it? And in particular, I know that you said it would be in places that get a lot of rain, but it does happen where a month could go by where no rain has occurred and the moss will be dry, so more likely to catch fire.
Yes, we did some research on that. I contacted a company that is currently doing moss walls, but they are indoor, so that is dried moss. And their moss is already actually working as a flame repellent wall, so that's already safe. And then in addition, our moss is mostly humid, moist, so there's no real issues with fire safety.
My question is, who is your target market? Is it homeowners, building companies, or kind of councils? And also, how do you expect them to, buy into this wall from a visual perspective? Because you said that it needs 30 to 50% of the houses in a street, what I understood, to make a significant difference. And that's quite a large number, especially, if you think about exterior architects. So yeah, what's your target market and how do you actually convince people to buy this wall?
Our target market are municipalities, and in relation with householders. Sorry, and we will create public-private partnership among them to share the cost. The 80% will be paid by municipalities and the 20% by owners. This is because we know that municipalities need to reach some European targets, and have to care about a common good that is the air quality. And we know that the buildings are owned by private property. So our role will be also this connection and to explain the why you need to have those kind of walls. Also because for the house owners, there's a gain not only in the attraction of the building, but also because it creates isolation. And so you have a reduction in energy consumption for cooling and heating. So we will press also on the economic factor and the benefit that they could have. Okay.
Yeah, hi. So I assume that you are not targeting for the glass buildings, but the brick buildings. So that's how the residences. And if one residence has already this insulation layer, are you supposed to remove that and put in your own insulation layer, or how does it work?
No, the moss will actually create an extra isolation layer, which, depending on the situation, can totally remove the cooling needed for a building. But it ranges between 30 and 100%. In addition, the building property will rise up to 20% as well, so that's really attractive for the property owners.
Okay, why Brussels? Why Brussels? And also, Brussels is a UNESCO World Heritage site, so can we put this moss wall on Brussels and not to damage the old buildings?
We have several reasons why we chose the city of Brussels, but I'll tell you three. First of all, because of the rainfall that I said, that it rains almost every 3 to 6 days annually. Secondly, on the western part of Europe, Brussels is the most air pollution, that has the highest air pollution. And thirdly, it's the capital of Europe. All the EU institutions are there, so as we are targeting governments, we thought that it's a good idea to start in the heart of Europe.
question. If there's an extreme weather event, like some sort of crazy hail or something, and the moss gets ripped off, what happens then? Does it grow back, or what happens?
Well, if the damages are limited, yeah, it will definitely grow back in 2 or 3 months. And of course, if the damages are more important, we are here to supply new materials, and the city will be trained to replace them. So it will go quite smoothly.
Thank you so much. That was a rain of questions, but we're now out of time. So thanks a lot for the questions, but thanks a lot to the team.
Thank you.